right, folks, we're here at SHOT Show 2025, and today's coverage is coming at you now. So, folks, we're here with Adam at Holosun at their private event. First of all, I want to thank you guys so much. Adam, you guys have put on a great event here. It makes everything so much easier this hectic week of SHOT Show. And you guys have got a lot of really cool new stuff. I got to say, you know, leading up to this, I was thinking to myself, after last year and everything that you guys did last year, I was like, how are they going to top this? Like, what are they going to come up with next?
Yeah.
And you guys have done a phenomenal job. Let's go over what you guys have got new coming out.
Yeah, so we'll start on this end and work our way down. So what we have here is the new Ames Pro. And so the Ames Pro kind of builds off the Ames you guys know and love. And so you're going to have a kill flash now built in. It can be flipped down or taken off, but there's your kill flash. And so you can have it like that. You're also going to have, as I rotate to this side, a new kind of sturdier mounting system here. Obviously, a lot of you guys, when it came to that star key, it was like, hey, it was easy to over torque or to really kind of get that grind in there. So now we have an easier, a little more sturdy mounting system as well.
Nice.
Probably the one that is stealing the show, if I had to guess, are going to be these two guys, and that's the Iris and the Raid. So the Iris is our new laser module, and so this is going to have anything from an Iris 1 to an Iris 4. It can come with just a single laser to visible laser, IR illuminator, and a white light. So all the way up to that. You have some of the toggles in the back, but the coolest thing is for your IR illuminator, to make it broader or more narrow, you use this little switch right here, this little slider. So you just slide it. For those of you who have used this up before, you probably remember that little switch back here, knob, and you turn the knob.
Yep.
And when it's dark out, that is not easy to find or control.
When it's dark out and you've got gloves on.
Exactly. So this is, if you're using your typical C-clamp, you just kind of move that around, all you need.
Perfect.
Typical crane switches, nothing special. This is one of our kind of prototype mounts that has multiple switches. I'll show you guys the single switch that it ships with. And then we have our Raid flashlight, which is one of my favorite things for the mere fact that we all use white light probably all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So this can both be used as a handheld light, which I have before, or it can be a weapons mounted light. It comes with a Picatinny and an M-LOK mounting system. Typical crane switch in the back. And there is a white light head, but there's also going to be, aftermarket, you buy it separate or possibly in a bundle, a IR head as well later on.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be really cool for you guys who are hunting at night or doing anything at night. That IR head's going to be pretty freaking sweet.
Hell yeah.
So that's kind of some of the really cool ones.
And we're talking, 1,000 lumens out of that one?
It's 80,000 candela. I think it's 1,000 lumens.
Nice.
And obviously candela is kind of that number where I think we measure from nowadays, it seems like.
Yeah.
And this is what I want to go to. This is the typical switch you're going to see what it ships with. So it's a more compact switch. So it gets you out of that, like, the big bulky one that we used to have.
Right.
Now it's a much more compact, easily mounted switch. And then as we go back to this guy, so this is a new MP3X. You guys have asked a lot for an etched reticle or prism type optic. If you had stigmatism or you just want something else, this is a fixed 3 magnification. It's called the MP3X. It gives you fixed magnification with a built-in BDC, and that's going to go ahead and get you right there in that prism style sight. And that's again our MP3X.
Nice.
So that's going to be a really cool one. And then we're going to skip this guy, come over to this one first. This one's going to be really cool, guys. So you guys know I'm a huge fan of the SCRS. This now is our new RO, the Advanced Rifle Optic. This is a version more or less of the SCRS form factor, but now you're going to have the battery, the buttons up top and the battery in the side. So you can use the SCRS if you want that solar charging rifle sight, or you can jump to this guy and have the ability to put a battery in and change it as you want. I still love the SCRS. This is going to be a great feature for a lot of guys who want to get into something with a battery. And then if you have some finer taste like this channel and all of its viewers, maybe move up to this guy, which is the RO EVO. So it's the RO Evolved, and you have flip caps the front and the back, and a built-in kill flash as well that can be unscrewed. Yeah. So again, it still is that typical mount. You have your bolt over here, you have your battery, but this gets you into your solar panel up top, your controls on the side. Just kind of a step up from that RO for those who maybe want a couple more features based on what they're doing.
Right.
So that's a lot of the new stuff, guys. You guys are probably going to hit the range, already have hit the range, and he'll have video of that as well, and so you guys can see as well. But, it's a VIP event. You guys are here with us.
Heck yeah. Now, one quick thing. When can we expect to see some of these tentatively released and out on the
So we're going to have a lot of Q1, Q2, and then it will go into Q3, Q4 based on the optic. But a lot of stuff we're kind of pushing out now, like the radio you've seen out now, the Iris you've kind of seen out now, and then some of the other things are shipping out next Q1, Q2.
Nice. Adam, thank you again so much.
Hey.
You guys are awesome.
Thanks,
we really
guys.
appreciate it. All right, folks, we're here at 1791 Gunleather, and we're here with Justin. Justin, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And I tell you what, I've been really excited about what you guys have got going on. Doing the research, coming to SHOT Show, you guys have got a new handguard out, which is, I mean, everybody knows you for your Gunleather products, but you went a different direction with this.
It's a completely new brand that we started. So 1791 Industries is dedicated to all of our hard goods. So we have AR-15 handguards, AK handguards, we have AR-15 charging handles, M-LOK accessories, upper receivers and lower receivers. We're really going after it pretty hard. Now, the big thing behind this is, like, if we come out with just like another ultralights like AR-15 or ultralights AR-15 accessories, we're just another Johnny-come-lately. What I didn't want to do with this was like make a bunch of lightning cuts or add excessive uses of polymers or carbon fibers or anything like that, because the gun culture doesn't recognize that as made for professional use. I wanted to make a fighting system that was just lighter. So back during World War II, the fighting weight of the service rifle was the M1 Garand. It was about 9 pounds. It was a full power battle rifle that fired 30-06, so that had some heavy duty schwack power. Come Vietnam, the M16 weighs about 7 pounds. We have gone at that point from a full power battle rifle to an intermediate range rifle. Then in the 80s and 90s, we got the CAR 15, 16-inch barrel, the thing that we know and love today, the gun from Heat, one of the coolest movies ever. That thing weighed about 6 pounds, all right? So in my opinion, like 6 or 7 pounds is about the max weight that an intermediate range rifle should weigh, period. That's just the way it should be. Then a full power battle rifle, maybe that's okay to be like 8 or 9 pounds. So that's just my opinion. The clincher of the issue is this. During the global war on terror, to increase soldier lethality, we started adding optics and lights and lasers. And for instance, like my service rifle when I was in the Navy was a Mark 18 Mod 0. That thing weighed about 8.5 pounds, and it was a 10-inch barrel. So that's why in these gun configurations, I have this one set up in particular. So this is set up to be basically a carbon copy of my service rifle as far as performance. We have iron sights, I have an aim point, and I have a Surefire flashlight, and I have a little hand stop on there. So real quick, we'll take this over to the scale. So about 6 pounds and change.
That is amazing.
So since we're playing with the scale, let me go through and weigh some other stuff here. So a market barrel nut from a brand that I know and love, 1.6 ounces. Our barrel nut that is proprietary to our handguard, 0.8 ounces.
Wow.
One of the lightest rings in the market. This is a Night Force ultralight ring, 1.6 or 1.5 ounces. Our ultralight ring, made out of our material, 1.2 ounces. A polymer M-LOK hand stop, 0.4 ounces. Our M-LOK hand stop, 0.2 ounces.
Jeez.
This actually weighs the same as a sheet of computer paper.
That is unreal.
Fun fact, a sheet of computer paper is the most accurately mass-produced product on the planet. I don't know if you guys knew that, but... So, market charging handle, 1.4 ounces. Our charging handle, 0.9 ounces. So, now, do you need to just swap out one item? If you need to swap out like one item to save the most amount of weight, it's probably going to be the handguard.
Right.
So, like, here's a market handguard.
And that one's fairly lightweight.
Yeah, this is one of the lightest weight handguards on the market. So about 10 ounces, 10.3, 10.2. Our handguard. 6 ounces.
That is unbelievable.
So this guy here is the cut top rail. We do also have a full top rail, and the full top rail in the 15-inch configuration adds about like 0.4 ounces. Wow. It doesn't add a lot. So.
And I mean, that's going to be really great for a lot of different applications. I mean, you mentioned earlier when we were talking about it, law enforcement. If you're in a standoff for hours on end trying to hold your rifle there, that gets really grueling. And I know the question that everybody's going to ask is the strength of the product. This is a really interesting and a very unique and new material. Let's talk about the strength of it.
Yeah. So this material is something that we have sole access to. It's called Magnite. What Magnite is, it is a nano-formed magnesium alloy. So it is actually made at the molecular level, at the nano level. It is not just magnesium, not even close. It's a nanoparticle material. What that allows us to do is, like, the first thing I thought of when I heard of that is like, oh, magnesium, class delta fire, whatever. That's not true with this material. I have shot this at machine gun rates of fire to see if I can make it fail, and in each instance, the AR-15 failed in which the way it's supposed to. Either like the gas block blew, or the gas tube blew, or in one instance the barrel blew. At no time did any of our parts get destroyed or fail in any way. So. This stuff is literally 33% lighter than aluminum, and just like aluminum, there are multiple different grades of Magnite. We have like MN 3100, MN 6100, MN 8000, and depending on what I'm doing with the product, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what the market's doing or choosing for an aluminum for that application. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a Magnite that is either going to meet or exceed those performance characteristics, and then achieve the lightweight characteristics at the same time. So we've done mil-STD-810 drop testing with this stuff, which showed us something that we needed to fix. So we changed materials on our handguards and kind of reset that there. And we've done like literally like burn down destructive testing to where like the handguard got so hot that it started my lead sled on fire. But again, like our parts did not fail. So
that's insane. I mean, I tell you what, as far as what I see on paper and what I feel in hand, I think this is a absolutely groundbreaking product.
One more thing I'll say, just so people kind of can have like context to compare it to. The brand new like SIG MCX / Spear rifle in 5.56, like a standard MCX in 5.56 weighs 8.5 pounds. That weighs 1 pound, or basically 1.5 pounds heavier than this, and this is already set up and ready to fight. Yeah,
it is deceiving because
let's go weigh it.
You've got an idea in your head as to what that's going to feel like, and it was not at all what it actually felt like.
So 7.8 pounds.
7.8. And already kitted out, ready to go. That's just unreal.
Yeah, we're not selling them kitted out and ready to go, but
right.
I wanted to put the fighting equipment on there so people got a real and honest appreciation for how light the system's going to be when you use it. So
now, as far as the consumer goes, with them releasing at SHOT Show, when can we expect to see these hitting store shelves?
So what we're doing at SHOT Show is what we consider a soft launch, and the reason for that is because like I've sent us back to Formula a couple of times in my testing. We're planning on having inventory doing a hard launch around like the March time frame. So yeah, that's when it should be available, is March.
That is fantastic, and that's across the line for all the products.
All of the 1791 Industries products, and just a quick overview of what we're offering. You can swing over here. So we're doing
perfect.
AR-15 handguards, AK handguards. We're doing scope rings, charging handles, M-LOK rail sections, our M-LOK hand stop that weighs the same as a piece of paper. Again, handguards, AR, and AK. And then we're also doing AR-15 upper receivers and AR-15 lower receivers. Just for instance, our AR-15 upper receiver stripped weighs 4 ounces.
That's insane. Oh my gosh, this is super exciting. But I want to say too, as exciting as this is, that's not all you guys have got new. You guys have been super busy. Let's go over some of the new leather stuff you guys have got going on as well.
Yeah. So I'm a bit of an eclectic, kind of a weird soul, if you can say that. Like, as much as I'm like an armed like citizen patriot that wants the lightest, most high-speed fighting equipment possible so that I can be ready to protect my family at any given time, I'm also a huge John Wayne fan. I'm a huge like Miami Vice fan, or the movie Heat. Like, Heat's one of my favorite movies ever. So I wanted to make sure that we had some stuff on the leather side that was commensurate with my likes and dislikes. It has nothing to do with what you guys want. It has everything to do with what I want.
I love it.
So right here, this is the Pathfinder chest holster. We do 5 sizes for this guy. We have Glock, SIG, and then we have a 1911. In the Glock and SIG frames, we actually made them just a touch wider so that they're going to be compatible with the 10mm daddies in that frame. So this is a Glock 17/19 holster, but it also fit a Glock 20. And the retention strap on the back is actually adjustable for that very reason, so that you can kind of tailor that as needed. So the way this works is you have a vertical shoulder strap that's going to go up and over the shoulder. Actually, I'll just go ahead and put it on here. And then we have a horizontal strap that comes underneath the armpit. And the horizontal strap is adjustable. Basically, you're going to adjust it to get to your main kind of like chest sizing or body sizing. And then it's designed to be able to adjust on the fly, because if you're out in the bush, like let's say like you had your puff jacket on in the morning, and then come afternoon it's getting a little warm, you're sweating, so you can strip layers off, and then instead of having to bust out your Phillips screwdriver that you did not bring into the field, you can just adjust that little nylon strap and tighten it up a little bit. The automatic handgun fit versions are going to be optic compatible. So we have this optic cut there to make sure we can do that. And then we also have 2 revolver fits as well. We have like a K and L frame, so basically 38 357 Magnum for a 4-inch barrel, and then we have an N frame, so 44 mag up to a 4-inch barrel. And it's funny that like from what our sales team has been telling me, like the market has been asking for an N frame from us for a while, and the first thing we did it in is the chest holster. So actually, I think that one it's hanging here somewhere. Actually, there it is.
Yeah.
That's our end frame.
That is super cool.
Yeah, we had a guy in here from Montana the other day. He's like, that's the one I want.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, this is the Pathfinder chest holster. The retail on that guy is like $175 or something, which is actually still super competitive for what the market has to offer.
Oh, absolutely.
But anyways, next up, we have the Nakatomi Special Shoulder Holster System. So we have 2 different versions, and it's kind of unfair because Bruce Willis didn't use a vertical chest holster in Nakatomi Plaza, but I didn't want a bunch of different product names. So it's the Nakatomi Special, whether it's the horizontal version or the vertical version. So we're doing 3 fits in this guy. We're doing like our big 3, Glock, SIGs, and 1911s. We do a vertical version and a horizontal version. They are also optics compatible, which is a slight departure from like the 80s and 90s.
Right.
But it is the 21st century, and like people have optics on their guns now. They come with a double magazine pouch that is actually size agnostic between a 1911 or Glock. You basically just use the other snap. Basically, if it's a 1911, you're going to use that top snap. And if it's a Glock or a SIG, you're going to use that bottom snap, and then you can tailor the adjustment or the friction with these screws here. There's little rubber bushings behind, so you can add a little bit more friction to the magazine carrier. So these are adjustable up to about a 50-inch chest, and I say about a 50-inch chest because like you could have a 50-inch chest, but then have trap muscles like Brock Lesnar that come up to the base of your skull. So like, you know, give me a break. It's about 50 inches of a chest, depending on your body type. And then our chest holster is up to 48 inches in circumference. So,
wow.
Yeah. So those are our shoulder holsters and chest holsters. If we swing around the corner here, we can look at our hunt stuff.
Perfect.
So 1791 hunts. This comes directly from me just getting frustrated when I walk into a gun store and in like the hunting accessories section, all I see is a sea of black nylon Chinesium. So I personally just love leather. I love the feel of it. I love the fact that it looks good right out the gate, and it's only going to look better with age. It's going to last a lifetime. And we made a couple of, like, in my opinion, very common sense and utilitarian products for this line. So we have a cartridge sling. These are the rifle ones. We do a large rifle and a magnum. Large rifle basically fits anything with a 30-06 parent casing or similar to it. And then the magnum basically fits everything with a 300 Win Mag parent casing or similar to it. And then we have a 12 gauge shotgun that holds 10 rounds. So I will say that carrying this, if you're walking, like having 10 shells in there, it's a little floppy. But where this is really nice is if you're doing blind hunting and having the rounds right on the gun. The other thing that I really like about this is just like setting up a home defense gun. You know what I mean? Like if you have a 12 gauge shotty with 10 rounds on the sling, like you're taking all comers. Like nothing's getting past that. So this guy right here is actually my favorite product in the line, just because it has a bit of a special story connected to it. So when I was a young kid, I remember like looking over in the corner at my grandparents' house and seeing my grandpa's 22 long rifle. He had a little bolt action. I don't even remember what it was. It might have been a Marlin or something. And he just had like a simple leather strap of a sling. Like that's what he had. And what I wanted one day on Father's Day was I wanted to be able to give my dad a simple leather strap sling for his rifle, so that his rifle would be like his dad's rifle who passed away. And for the life of me, I could not find a simple leather strap sling anywhere. So I just made one. That's what this is called. It's called the Simple Strap. It's designed to primarily be like a rimfire sling or like a small varmint rifle sling. I actually have one on my 22 Hornet. That's like my favorite varmint gun. I have a Ruger 77 22 Hornet.
Right.
That thing is the best coyote and fox zipper on the planet. Anyways, I digress. I'm not talking about guns. I'm talking about our stuff here.
I love it.
So this guy here is our cartridge belt slide. This is, again, a very utilitarian thing to me because, like, if not this, then shells in pocket. You know what I mean? And they're jingling around and they're staged in an inconsistent fashion. This actually has 2 belt loops, and then it has a center belt loop as well to prevent bunching on the belt. Yep. So that'll just hug your hip and keep your shells right there at the ready. They carry 5 rounds, and we do the same fitment. We do large rifle, magnum, and 12 gauge. So
nice.
And then probably one of the coolest products in the line is our butt cuff. I actually have one set up over here. We can see. So this rear retention strap is dovetailed in there, and you can remove that if you want to, but I would personally recommend not doing that. Right. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've used butt cuffs before, and like if it doesn't have something keeping it from sliding forward, then it's going to be in the way of your pistol grip or like rotating around, and like then the shells are like poking you in the cheek or something. But yeah, this is just a magnet. It doesn't come with it, so I can stick it to the wall. But it comes with 550 cord for lace instead of leather. And some people are like, well, why would you do like 550 cord instead of leather? You're a leather company. Again, because of practicality. I'm a very utilitarian person. What I want to do is I want to be able to pull this 550 cord so freaking tight and then tie it off with a good old square knot. And then I'm going to cut the bitter end short, and I'm going to burn them down so I don't have these tassels hanging down. That's why 550 cord and not like leather lace. So the rifle ones, again, the same sizing. We do large rifle, we do magnum, we do 12 gauge. The rifle ones are going to carry 5, and then the 12 gauge carries 4, just because of sizing restraints. And then our cheek piece is actually padded, has high density closed cell foam behind there, topped with really nice soft suede, and that wraps up and over and dead ends behind that placard, so that when I cheek my gun, my cheek is going to be on top of the stock, not on the side of it. Right. Or at least part of it will. So, yeah, that's our butt cuff.
That is fantastic. And I got to say, not only with how popular hunting rifles have gotten, but also how popular lever guns have gotten again in the last couple of years. I mean, that's going to be a ton of, I see what at least goes out of our store in that product line.
Actually, in the hunt line, there's something over here I got to show you too. Again, earlier I mentioned I'm a fan of John Wayne. We have a line of scabbards as well.
Yeah.
So we have 2 lever gun scabbards. We have a 16-inch trapper version and we have a 20-inch carbine version. They come with the leather straps for mounting on your horse or on your UTV. Something that I really like to do, my dad has a mule, like a UTV at the farm, and I love to there's like a oh shit handle right here, a handlebar. Right. I like to hook this up and I loop it through the handle, and then this is on the bar on there, and then my carbine's right there, like on the mule, you know.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then last but not least, our scoped rifle scabbard. So a scabbard, just like the other ones, except for this one is for a scoped rifle. It'll fit up to a 26-inch barrel with a standard height scope, like a hunting style scope, not like a target turrets with like extra high rings or anything like that. This is a hunter's scabbard. One huge departure we did on our scabbard from what people have seen in the past is we don't have some dopey hardware down here for attaching. This is called a fidlock. So it's a magnetic mechanical locking closure that'll actually lock and shut under its own weight.
Wow.
So what it does is the magnet actually draws the locking closure together, and then it locks on a hard mechanical surface. It's not just magnets holding it together. All the magnets do is pull them together. So what I really like about that is it really facilitates like a one-handed draw. Imagine you're on a horse, you reach down and get that flap, pull it down, you can grab your rifle and pull it out. So
that is fantastic. I mean, you guys really do think of everything, but in a classic way too. That's inspiring.
And then the scope channel is actually padded too. So.
Oh yeah.
Actually, that guy down there is not ready yet, but that's our premium gun case. This is a prototype. So wax canvas and high quality leather, high quality padding on the inside, adjustable height retention for how you're going to mount your gun. And what we're doing is I'm designing this to be compatible with other product lines because I'm a big fan of creating product ecosystems, not just standalone products. So these pouches are actually removable with fidlocks. And then my sling for my case is removable. And then if I'm out in the field and I have no other way to carry like my snacks or my lunch or my spare ammunition or whatever, I can just detach one of my pouches, throw it up and over my shoulder. So.
Oh my gosh. That is freaking awesome. I mean, and that was so simple. That took what, like 8 seconds maybe?
Yeah. Again, we're using fidlocks. They just lock into place.
That is incredible. I mean, and if you're going on a hunt, you're obviously going to pull your gun out of your bag anyways. And if you want to just have your pouch already set up and ready to go, you pull your gun out, then you got your strap right there, and you just pull the pouch off and leave everything in it, rather than trying to take it out of the case and put it in a different pouch, just so that you can carry it out there with you.
Super easy to do. And you can have different pouches set up. Like, I could have like this pouch set up with all my ammunition, and I could have this pouch set up with like snacks and water and like nav equipment or whatever. I just grab what I need and go. So
that is awesome.
This guy will be available sometime in spring. This won't be like real soon, but maybe like April, I would think.
Okay. So. Heck yeah. So as far as all the new leather products, when can we expect to see those hitting store shelves?
The new leather products is probably going to be like around like February, March-ish.
Nice.
So actually right around the same time as Light Raider is going to be available, the metal components.
Right.
That product line is called Light Raider.
Right.
So, yeah, about the same time that Light Raider is available as far as inventory. It's actually, the hunting stuff is available on the website right now, but the reason why it's not inventoried and ready to go to dealers is because like we need to figure out the packaging.
Right.
We're like halfway through that process. So
understandable. Absolutely. Justin, thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you guys, and really excited to see these new products hitting the stores.
Awesome.
All right, so folks, we're here at the Axil booth with Falcon. Falcon, thank you so much for taking time out, talking with us about the new products. You guys have got some really cool new stuff coming out.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about what it is here. First, starting off with the X30.
The X30. Okay, so Axil has been all over the board in terms of covering everything you need hearing performance-wise. One of the big new updates that we just released is what we call the X series plugs. This one specifically is called the X30i. The really awesome part about this, and I actually have a real example here, so the really neat thing about this plug is that it's a dynamic plug. It comes with the ability to open and close it to hear better or hear less in certain scenarios. The one thing that's really awesome about Axil and that separates us from the competition is we have a proprietary impact filter in there. That means that even in the open position, when a gunshot goes off, it creates a pressure level that makes that filter swell. That means even in that open position, you're protected across the board. That's the X series plugs. The little brother to it we call the X20 series. The X20 series is a killer product in its own, just a plug. A really good looking, rewashable, reusable plug at a killer price point. These plugs are very, very soft silicone. They're really soft in your ear. You can sleep with them, wear them in any situation, and not have to worry about discomfort in any regard.
Now, what are we talking about as far as price-wise?
Yeah, so right now, if you go on our website, www.goaxil.com, you're going to find them roughly between the $15 to $29, $30 range, depending on which one you go for.
That's fantastic.
Very inexpensive for a very stellar product.
That is fantastic. And we're talking about 24 dB, 25 dB on the X30.
One thing to note about us as well is we don't skimp out on taking care of you. In the package comes different size tips as well as different materials.
Because everybody's ears are different.
That's absolutely right. And what's really neat is that with the different materials, not only are you going to get a customized fit personalized to you, you're going to get better protection depending on which tip you wear. The memory foam, and this goes across the board for all of our products, memory foam is always going to protect better than silicone.
Right.
Okay.
Better seal. So I'm seeing kind of a white, an off-white here, and a red. What kind of color offerings are we talking about?
Lots of different color offerings. You'll find them all online. This one's my personal favorite. This is what we call a red, of course, and then a bone white version.
Nice.
The red just stands out. When it's in your ear, it looks incredible.
Heck yeah, that is awesome.
Absolutely. And then to continue the line, we're going to jump on over to our new over-the-ear product that we're releasing. It's been officially announced that we have some really, really cool customizable devices. So let me grab those here. So this is what we call the MX line. The MX line looks just like your normal average over-the-ear. Nothing special, right? That's not right. These guys are fully customizable in many different ways. The first way is that the cups themselves are going to be detachable and you're able to mount them to helmets, tactical.
Yes.
You can mount them to construction helmets, whatever it is. The next way that it's customizable is that when you purchase the product, you're going to have the ability to have different plates. So you can take that, snap it off, and you can purchase a different plate to put on to make it even more customizable in any way that you like.
That is awesome.
So no more idea of having to purchase a whole new set of a different color when you can have an all-in-one solution to have it customizable in your range bag, ready to go at all times. We're going to have 3 different models. We're going to have a passive model, an electronic model, and a Bluetooth model. The Bluetooth model is going to be called a Pro model, and what's really revolutionary about that on our end is that we're including it as a rechargeable device, so it's going to be USB-C rechargeable with gel cups right out of the box. It's not an additional accessory or purchase you have to go on and get. You can just get it right out of the box, ready to go at a stellar price point.
Nice. And now, as far as what people know and love, as far as your, no pun intended, core product here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about the X-Core.
So this is everybody's personal favorite. When I say personal favorite, we also have another product called the GS Extreme. And this is actually our Sig Sauer branded GS Extreme, but this has been the fan favorite for years. The GS Extreme is what launched us into the universal capability, the universal in-ear devices. But creeping up really quick is the X-Core Pro series. These X-Core are phenomenal. What these products allow for is while you're wearing the product, you can do multiple things simultaneously or independently of each other. Number one is it's not just hearing protection, it's hearing enhancement, so you're able to turn the volume up and keep it all the way up so you can hear better. And then actually I've got a live look at what they look like inside the charger here. So while you're wearing them, you can turn them up. And then when a loud noise hits over 85 decibels, we do not noise cancel. That's a stigma in the industry that we need to get out of our minds, because Axil does not noise cancel, we noise compress. What that means is we take noises over 85 decibels, we bring them back down to normal sound, and we enhance speech to where you're able to hold a crystal clear conversation while at the range and gunshots are going off. All while still being able to connect to your phone via Bluetooth, phone calls, music, media, whatever it is you like to do personally, in a rechargeable device with an extremely long battery life. The battery life on these puppies goes anywhere from 8 to 11 hours depending on Bluetooth streaming. You stick them back in the case and it'll charge at another 2 full cycles. So you're set for at least a week of range time before you even have to plug these in a truck or at home, whatever it is.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, phenomenal little product. That's why these guys are becoming the #1 seller.
I love that. You guys are absolutely killing it. And I guess, Scott, we're going to see if you can find these at SMGA. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. Shortly, I would definitely assume. Preferably at SMGA.
That's right.
Local gun shop in Tennessee.
That's right. Heck yeah. Falcon, thank you so much, brother.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, so folks, we're here at the Night Fision booth with the one and only Pat. Pat, thank you so much, brother.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. And you guys have got some really cool new stuff. Now, this, upon, just first quick look, doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary, but wait a minute, when you look a little closer, is that a built-in co-witness sight right there?
Absolutely. So, our big claim to fame, especially the last few years, is our optic height line. So we have a whole line dedicated for a lower third co-witness with popular optic and pistol combos. And what we started running into a lot was some of the more popular SIG models don't feature a rear sight dovetail. So rather than doing an optic plate that has a dovetail in it and making it a bit more complex, a little less reliable, we decided to create a new design that we call our optics mounted stealth line. So that line, the rear sight will mount directly through the screw holes of the optic. So now you don't need to add a plate. It doesn't require a rear dovetail. You're going to get the rear sight, the front sight, and then it's going to come with the correct length screws to mount it.
Nice.
So initially it's available for the M17 and M18 with the Holosun SDS 320 or any of the other 320 models that don't have a rear sight dovetail. So if you've got that pistol and optic combo, you now have a backup sight option. And then new for this year, we're rolling it out for the 365 line.
Yes.
So that's going to be compatible with the EPS carry, the 507K, the smaller optics. So if you have a factory gun with no rear sight dovetail, or you're getting your factory slide milled and removing the dovetail, now you've got a backup sight option. Like I said, comes as a set, front and rear, with your screws.
Yeah, and for those that don't want to drift sights, because that can be kind of cumbersome and kind of annoying, you've got an MOS version here as well.
Yep, we went ahead and did a MOS version for the RMR. So that's obviously going to require a plate to mount the RMR, but we have the correct screw length to account for that. So if you just don't feel like messing with tapping a rear sight in or out, and maybe you don't have a sight pusher and don't want to go out and buy one just for an individual gun that you want to get set up, easy enough. You could just knock your rear sight out, smack it out with a hammer or whatever you need to do, and now you've got a new rear and the correct height front to go with it.
Nice. That is awesome. Let's go check out some of the other new stuff you guys have got.
So just a couple new models we're going to be rolling out. We're going to have co-witness height, lower 1/3 for the Beretta APX line.
Yes.
So we're excited about that. That's our first Beretta offering. We haven't had anything for them previously, and I've always been a fan of the APX.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling out a similar offering for the Springfield Echelon.
Yes.
So primary height will be that RMR height, so that's going to be compatible with Triggertech, the Holosun 507C, 508T, any of the Swamp Fox optics that have a similar battery deck height as the RMR or the Holosun line.
And I got to point out just how low to the deck that thing is right there. That is insane.
Yep, the whole point of that product line is we're designing for the optic and getting it as low as possible so that your tritium sights just clear the body of the optic.
That's fantastic.
And aren't obstructing your view any more than necessary.
Yeah.
So last new one, this is a new height for Glock, for the MOS guns, for the RMR HD and the RCR. So those optics sit a little bit higher, so we had to make a new height for those, but we try to support the most popular optics on the market. We know those are going to be a big hit, especially in the law enforcement world. So having options, keeping that lower third co-witness, making sure you have your backup sights without obstructing your optic window.
Absolutely. Now, of course, and we talked about these last year, but I want to talk about them again, the shotgun offerings.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I feel like not a lot of people pay enough attention to, but it's going to be very beneficial, especially in low lighting situations. So many people use shotguns for home defense.
Yep.
And that's really where this product shines.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So last year we were showing off a collaboration that we did with Vancomp. So they've got some sights available for the modifications they do to the 870s, 500s, stuff like that. Now, this year, we're going to be rolling out our own standard sight offering. So the plan is to have stuff for both the dovetail style mounts and the bead sights. So you'll be able to do a bead replacement that features tritium, has that high-vis front ring. So it's going to be great, both for the hunting world and for the home defense world. Hunting, there's a ton of shots taken in that transitional lighting. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as it's daylight, that high-vis pigment in the ring is going to pop, and it's going to be, you're going to have a big orange or yellow dot right on the front of that barrel.
Heck yeah. That is fantastic.
Yeah. And then one more kind of new thing for us this year, we're going to be doing AK front sight posts. So that'll drop into, the standard AK front sight drum.
Yeah.
It'll be tritium. Pretty self-explanatory, but just trying to expand a bit into some other markets. And maybe some of your viewers have not seen our AR products yet. We've got an MBus Pro front sight replacement. So it's just sold as just the post. And then we also have a version available for mil-spec front sights.
Nice.
So any of the, the more budget or the mil-spec style ARs that have the fixed front sight base, it comes with the post, the tool, everything you need. Just drop it right in there. It'll work on flip-ups or fixed sights. So that way, if you've got backup sights on there that you're going to want tritium on, they're there for you.
Simplicity is key right there, and you guys make it so easy when it comes to that stuff.
Yep. And we have, for the pistol sight side of things, we have a great tool on the website called the Co-Witness Selector. So whether you're in a store shopping or you're on our website, you can just go on there. It's real simple. Pick your gun, pick your optic, and it spits out what set of sights you need. So trying to just shorten that gap between what do I need and can I buy this now?
That is freaking awesome. Now, what do we have over here on the standard sights there? Oh, Scott is going to demonstrate right here with his model hands. So you can select your make right there. You can select your model right after that. And then it's going to tell you exactly what sights to choose from night vision. And when I cannot tell you how much easier this makes that process, rather than having to Google a bunch of crap and while you're standing in the store.
It's on the drop down.
And getting frustrated there. You just select right there. That makes it so much easier. So if you're standing in a store that carries, like SMGA, that carries night vision, and it's going to spit out, and it's going to give you a profile and show you exactly what it looks like.
And then last few new things to show you guys for this year. This year we'll be rolling out adjustable 1911 sights.
Oh, yeah.
So the rear sight's got your adjustment in there. It's got enough range to cover anything from 9, 40, 45 the shorter, 4-inch barrels all the way out to the 5.5, 6-inch barrels.
Nice.
So just making things a bit more simple. Those are Novak patterns, so anything with the Novak dovetail cut into it, you're just going to be able to drop that in, and less confusion. Make it a lot easier. Just here you go. You've got a full range of adjustment. These, we're going to have some OA Defense 2311 sights. We're already doing the OEM sight options on there. But we'll have a few configurations for different optic heights, things like that that you may want to upgrade if you do something like a Delta Point Pro that sits really high. We'll have some taller sights available for that. And then last thing here is staccato sights. So these are paired with the forward controls plate. So that has a Glock dovetail for the rear. So that'll come as a set, ready to go. Perfect lower third co-witness where your iron sights are just peeking up over the body of that optic. Comes with a staccato front, Glock rear for those plates.
That is awesome. Pat, thank you again so much, brother. Appreciate you guys and everything you do for the gun community.
Thank you.
All right, so folks, we're here at the Triggertech booth with Ryan. And Ryan, you guys have got a pretty incredible product here that I think is pretty groundbreaking just after feeling it. Tell us about what you guys have brought to the market this year.
Yeah, so this year, Shot 25, we're really excited to have our Glock trigger finally out and for everybody to play with. It's real, it's here. We want everybody to come play with it and tell us what they think. We think we've done something extremely special. We fixed the only thing wrong with the Glock, which we all know is the trigger. It's the only indefensible part, right? So we've done something truly revolutionary. It's a true drop-in unit, so you'll be taking out the rear module, the front module, in the lower in the frame there. So we'll drop our unit in entirely. You've got 3 different points of adjustment on this guy, so you can really fine-tune exactly what you want. So our first point of adjustment is in the back module here. It's going to dictate your brake weight. So whatever kind of brake weight you're feeling for. The second is a spring we can change in the lever. That's going to dictate your take-up weight. So whatever you kind of want resistance in the first stage, we can change that for you. The last thing is going to be in the plunger. So the plunger is going to be responsible for your reset strength. So we've really got something that's a one-size-fits-all. It'll go anything from a Gen 1 to a Gen 5. Right now we're at double stack standard frames, so 19s, 17s, 34s, you name it. We're looking to get other models, but that's what we'll have for now. So we're super excited to get this out there, and we think it'll be great. It'll change your shooting. That is fantastic. Now, when can we expect to see this one hitting the store shelves? We're expecting to see it out by about June 25. That's the aim for us. TBD, but we're in a good place right now. The design's frozen. We're feeling very good about June. And how about price point? What are we looking at here? Again, a TBD. It's a hard one. We're aiming between about $250 and $300, but that's subject to change. Just depends on packaging and stuff like that. That is awesome. Ryan, thank you so much. You guys make incredible triggers, and now fixing the one that everybody's wanted fixed for so long. Everybody's been asking. We delivered. Finally, it's here. We took our time, but we think we've done something really, really special. That's fantastic. Really Ryan, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. My pleasure, sir. Thank you. All right, folks. That's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And stay tuned, because we've got a lot more coming up tomorrow. And the next day. And the next day. Stay tuned for SHOT Show 2025.